Hey there, Corey. Oh, thank you, Maisie, for sharing this stream. Big shout out. Share it, yeah.
Can you actually hear me? Oh, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Bodyweight Gym live stream. Hopefully you can actually hear me because it is raining pretty hard. So we do have a tin roof. It's soothing. We're going to work on some upper mobility today, so specifically shoulders and back, going towards some standing back bends. So in terms of equipment you're going to need, hi Corey, equipment you're going to need is a chair. That is for your Jefferson curls, so it could literally just be anything. You can stand on your tabletop if you can.
Oh, thank you for that.
Just so you are raising yourself up nice and high. A weight as well for your Jefferson curl, just anything that's going to help pull you down into a forward stretch. Foam roller, if I haven't said that already, and that is pretty much it. And a wall as well, if you have a wall handy, that would be good. But we're going to warm up with some internal rotation stretch for your shoulder, a little bit of rehab, and also warming up our hip flexors as well for when we do some back bending. So you're going to start on the floor. You're going to lie on your side. And with our arm, it's going to be out nice and straight. It's going to sit in line with our shoulder. And I want you to think about drawing your arm back into your socket. So it's coming back and down. You're then going to bend the elbow, so you've got a 90-degree angle. Grab hold of the wrist, and then we're going to gently push that hand down to the floor, trying to keep a long neck and trying to keep that shoulder pulled back. It's going to feel a little bit gnarly. You just take it as far as you can, and then you come out of it. And we're going to do 10 of those. So 1, coming down, and back up. Just watch that when you do push it down that you're not lifting the shoulder up to the ear. This is 2, and up. 3, and up. 4, and up. 5, and up. 6, try and get it a little bit further each time, and up. 7, 8, 9, and one more time on this side, 10. Okay, changing sides. We're going to do the same thing on the other arm. So think about pulling that shoulder in, shoulder comes down, bend the elbow, grab hold of the wrist, and pushing it down gently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gary's eating another banana. 7,
Bananas are good.
8, 9, and 10. All right, check it out. The second thing we're going to get into is just warming up our hip flexors. So we are going to be in a kneeling position. You're going to try to keep your bum tucked under, and you're going to sink as far forward as you can. Now try not to have anything to hold on to, but if you absolutely need it, grab something. The toes are going to be tucked in the ground, and you're going to try to keep your hips as low to the floor as possible and try and straighten that knee. So pushing it back, and then you're going to bend the knee. As you bend, you try and sink a little bit deeper, okay? We're only going to do 5, but it's going to be a lot of time under tension, so it's going to be nice and slow. So chest up. You can use airplane arms if you need to, and then straighten the back leg. You're going to hold, and then bend and sink.
Feel free to make airplane noises.
It doesn't help.
Corey will be all over that.
Corey will be all over that. And bend. 3. And bend. Notice I've gone quite wide with my legs as well. It just makes it harder. So by putting the ankle in front of the knee. And again, so it's 4. And bend one more time. 5. And bend. Okay. You can go through a little bit of a counter stretch. So your back knee, you can bring it forward into your chest. And then we do the other side. So again, you can either have your knee in line with your ankle, or you can take the knee slightly behind. This will be a little bit harder, so less stable. Still trying to keep your bum tucked under as best as you can though. Arms out to the side, try and sink, and 1. And notice I did my bad leg first. Bend. 2. And bend. 3. Bend. 4. And bend. One more time. 5. And bend. Okay. Again, counter stretch. Back knee can come to your chest. And then we're going to work again on our internal rotation. We're going to try and get 2 more sets in. So again, lying on your side. The second time always feels better. Grab hold of the wrist. And then pushing down. 1. And 2. Feel free to move the wrist around as well. 3. 4. It does look like I'm breaking my arm.
It's like you're holding someone in like a position, to like get some information out of them.
If you wanted to make someone talk, this would hurt.
So this is a good exercise to allow you to not feel so much pain. So they can't get the information out of you.
7. Actually, some of the locks and holds are actually really nice stretches.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, when used nicely. Obviously, when you're pushing it harder, it hurts. But this is 8, 9, and 10. Okay, other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going back to our lunges. So like I said before, bad leg first, if you know what your bad leg is. Try and sink, bum tucked under, toes on the floor of the back leg, and straighten. 1. And bend. 2. And bend. 3. Bend. 4. And bend. Last one. 5. and bend. So thinking about getting your back quad to the ground. Change legs. Try and sink. And 1. And bend. 2. And bend. 3. And bend. 2 more. 4. Really make sure the back leg's straight. And bend, last one. 5. And bend. Okay, we're gonna do one more set. So back to your internal rotation, pull the arm in, bend the elbow, grab the wrist, and coming down 1. And up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one, 10. Okay, other side. Turning around.
Do some breakdancing moves.
I could just roll over, but no one really wants to see the back of me.
Dante would like to see.
Dante would. I wore my baggiest track pants for Dante.
Nice. He'd be happy.
2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one, 10. All right, back to your lunges. Again, chest up nice and tall. Try and push your hips forward, suck your belly button in, and straighten 1. And bend. 2. And bend. 3. And bend. 2 more. 4. And bend. Last one. 5. Holding. And bend. Okay. Change legs. Other side. And 1. Straighten. Find your balance. And bend. 2. And bend. 3. Bend. 4. And bend. Last one. 5. And bend. Okay. We're going to move on. The next couple of exercises are going to be specific for our spine. So we're going to do a little bit of rotation and then a little bit of back extension. We'll start with our back extension. So you're going to want to grab, as text on the screen, you're going to want to grab a foam roller. We're going to lie down on the foam roller. And it's really up to you where you want to place it. I've got mine sitting around mid-back, but it's wherever you feel like you're the most tightest. And you can move the roller as well as each rep or each set goes along. Legs, it is entirely up to you if you want to have them bent or if you want to have them straight. Hands are going to sit behind the ears, and we're trying to push the elbows back, so I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, tucking my bum under, so I'm trying to not use my lower back to arch when I do this. It's purely coming from as much of your thoracic as possible. So that is tucked. And then I'm going to try to arch back over the roller and touch my head to the floor. You might not be able to get your head to the floor, but just go as far as you can without letting your lower back arch, and then come back to your hollow shape. So we're going to do 10 of those. And again, if you feel like you're not getting much where the roller is at the moment, feel free to move it, okay? All right, we're going to do 10 with bum tucked, tummy in, and arching back. This is 1. And back to a hollow position, and Dexter is in the corner of the screen.
It's cute, right?
He is currently sleeping. 2. And 3. 4. 5. So again, try and keep your bum tucked under. And 6. 7. Try and squeeze when you get to the bottom. So we're trying to go a little bit further each time. And 8. 9. And one more time, 10. All right. So we're going to go straight into our rotation. You're not going to need the foam roller for this one. You're just going to be lying on your stomach, like so. Your hands are going to sit out to the side. Let's move that way. Out to the side like that. I'm going to bend one knee. You're going to squeeze your butt to lift that foot as high as you can up to the ceiling, and then trying your best to keep both shoulders flat on the floor. They might not stay flat on the floor, and that's okay. You're going to take that leg over, try to touch either your hand or the ground, wherever you can get to. When we get here, I'm going to try and push my opposite shoulder to the floor, and then try and lift back up from there. When I do lift back up, making sure that I'm keeping that leg in extension, so that I'm not just doing. I'm going to do 5 on each side. So I'm going to start with I'm going to lift it up, take it over. Again, try and push the other shoulder to the ground, and then come all the way back. 2. And back. And back. 4. And back. 5. And coming back. Taking it over. And back. 2. And back. Make sure you're trying to keep both shoulders on the floor. 3. So I'm lifting it up to get over, but when I'm here, I'm trying to press it down. And back over. 4. And over. Last one. 5. And back. Okay. We're going to go back to the foam roller, and we're going to do another 2 sets. So like I said before, if you feel like you weren't getting much with the foam roller where it was, feel free to move it to a different position this time. Another good apparatus if you have one is one of those yoga wheels. Are really nice if you are quite bendy. So again, straight or bent knees, hands behind the ears, tailbone is tucked under, and we are arching back. So it's 1. And back to hollow. 2. And hollow. 3. And hollow. 4. So really tuck your bum under. And hollow. 5. And hollow. 6. And also make sure we're not just arching your neck back. You want to keep your neck as neutral as possible. And back. 7. And back. Remember to pull the elbows back. This is 8. And 9. And back one more time. 10. And back. Okay. Back into your scorpion. So foam roller to the side. Lying on your stomach. Hands up. Bending the knee. Lift it up to the ceiling. And then taking it over again. Try to keep both shoulders flat on the floor. And coming back around. And 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. Keep lifting that foot up to the ceiling. And back. Still lifting, still lifting. And one more time. 5. And back. All right, other side. Bending my right knee, lifting it up, taking it over. And 2. And back. 3. Four. And back. And coming back. All right, got one more set. So with the foam roller again, lying down. Again, feel free to change the position. Hands are going to be behind the ears. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Tailbone tucked under. And we're arching back. So 1. And hollow. 2. Try and breathe out as you're going into extension. And back to hollow. 3. And hollow. 4. Arching back. And hollow. 5. And hollow. 6. Gary's breaking things. And hollow. 7. And hollow. 8. And hollow. 2 more to go. 9. And hollow, last one. 10. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. And back to hollow. All right, into our last set of scorpions. So you will not need the foam roller. Moving the T. Okay, hands out to the side, bend the knee, lift it up. If you're getting to your hand consistently, you're bending the knee and try and get it to your elbow instead. It might cramp your calf, your hamstring, but that is okay. 2. And back. 3. So you just need to bend the knee a little bit more. 4. One more time on this side. 5. And back. All right, other side. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. 4. And back. One more time. 5. Still trying to keep both shoulders flat as best as you can. And coming back. All right. We can do a little bit of counter stretch after doing a lot of back extension. So when you have done a lot of extension work, the opposite is to go forward. So there's so many different ways you can go forward. You can either do it in a tucked semi-child pose position. You can also do it in a pike. Let's say our hamstrings are not playing ball and we've got quite tight hamstrings. You can just place a foam roller under your knees and then you still get that same amount of forward flexion. So we're just going to spend 30 seconds or so here, and then we're going to get into our next superset exercise, which is going to be working on some shoulder mobility. So you are going to need a wall for this one and just a space on the floor. And we're going to work on our thoracic and extension that way, and then a little bit of German hand work that way. So let's start with the wall first. You're going to face the wall. There's a couple of variations on this one. If you feel any sort of pinching in your shoulders, I will show you a different variation, but the one that we want to work towards, hands are going to come to the wall and you're going to place them shoulder width apart. You're going to try to smush your chest. So I'm trying to get my armpits to the wall first, and I'm up nice and high. My feet are probably about 2 feet away from the wall. Closer is obviously going to be harder because you're going to have to bend a little bit more. If you do have tight hamstrings, you do not have to keep your legs straight. You can bend your knees slightly, but this will be your starting position. So we're here. You're then going to try to slowly maintain contact with the wall and lower yourself down. So you are essentially bending as much as you can from your upper back. Good morning, Tanya. From your upper back, holding it there, and then lifting the chest off. So you're going to keep the hands exactly where they are, and then I go down again, get my armpits to the wall. I'm trying to go a little bit deeper, and then come back out of it, okay? So all of this should be touching the wall. If that is too much, and you are not getting much out of it other than shoulder pinching, don't worry about getting your armpits to the wall. You can literally just go and push your shoulders down like that. And then come out, and then push them down, and then come back out. You can even do it on the edge of a table as well. So same thing, if you do have a table and not a wall handy, you can push the shoulders down from there and get essentially the same stretch. We're going to do 5 of those, and then our next exercise is going to be a timed hold. Okay, so let's start with this one. Again, placing the hands nice and high. This first one is more about getting your starting position. So my chest is to the wall, trying to get my armpits to the wall as well. I'm sliding down and then coming out of it. All right, so 1. Try and go a little bit deeper. And back up, and think about lengthening your spine upwards. If you want to eliminate your lower back, when you're there, try and tuck your tailbone under as well. Are you having a second banana, Gary?
Yeah, well, these are small ones, and they're getting a bit old.
No, it's good.
So I need to
get your fruit in.
I've got 3. I've got to eat. Otherwise, these won't last till tomorrow. For you, these are dead. To you, these are dead to you.
They're dead to me. That's too ripe.
Too ripe.
That's like a smoothie. That right there. It's... All right, this is 2. Try and go a bit further. And up. 3. And up. 4. And up. One more time. 5. And coming up. Good. So again, every time we come back up, we can see if we can work our hands down a little bit lower. And then go back down again. I'm thinking about pushing against the wall and pushing up, so my entire spine is lengthening rather than compressing, okay? And it shouldn't feel pinchy in your back or in your shoulders at all. And if it does, let me know, and we can give you a different variation. For the second one, Gary's going to time for us for 30 seconds. You are going to have your fingers facing back. The closer your hands are, the harder the stretch is going to be, or the more stretch you're going to have. You're going to try to squeeze your shoulder blades together to open your chest up. And we'll go so you can see me.
Is this the German?
This is the German hang stretch.
The German hang stretch.
You're going to scooch your butt forward as far as you can, whilst keeping your chest open. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. I'm not letting them collapse forward like that, okay? If you feel this in your elbows, just go a little bit wider with your hands. Let's foam roller. Okay. So again, scooching your bum as far forward as you can.
Are we ready? People?
We're ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
So active chest. Thinking about squeezing your hands together as well.
10 seconds down. We're doing well.
Oh, you've gotten better. Have you practiced?
No, I don't know. Too many bananas. I've got so much energy. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's 30 seconds, isn't it? Not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wall one is just you do it 5 times. Yeah. Okay.
Gary's got it. He's on the ball.
Well, no, because I put times 5 and then times 30, but you're not doing 30 sessions of.
No. So
we
I
could.
write the
Would
program
you like to do
down.
30 sessions of 30?
30 sessions of German hang. Yeah. I think every instructor has like a different way of how they write their programs, and it doesn't make sense to anyone else but them.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then they make up names as well for stuff. Is usually how it goes. All right.
Oh yeah, different names. Is there a particular way that you say?
I think it's me describing the exercise, so I actually remember what it is. But there probably is like an official name for these. But I mean, wall shoulder stretch is pretty self-explanatory.
That's true.
Okay.
But there's no like German or Romanian or.
Well, German hang is technically the name, but German hang is on the rings.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I meant the wall.
The wall.
Is there form of like Eastern European or like some form of?
It's probably some European.
We should make one up.
Okay. Set 2. We're doing 4. So again, Hands are as high or as low as you want to make them. Remember, lower is going to be harder. And coming down, looking up to the ceiling. 1, and back. 2, and back. Work them down a little bit each time. 3, and back. 4, and back. And last one, 5, and back. Okay, straight onto the ground again. 30 seconds. So fingers facing back, scooching your butt forward. Remember, open chest. And 30 seconds.
All right, let's go.
Try and breathe as best as you can. Remember, if you are feeling it in your elbows, you can go slightly wider. You can also keep a slight bend in your arms, especially if you've got hyperextending elbows.
And 3, 2, 1.
Cool. All right, you probably want to bend them before we go to the next round. All right. So set 3. Again, try and remember where you put your hands. I think I was there. Straight legs if possible, or knees can be slightly bent. And coming forward, make sure you breathe out. That was ambitious. Okay. And up. 2. And up. 3. And up, trying to get our upper back working. 4. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. And one more time. 5. And up, okay. Onto the ground. Back into your German hang. Hands close as you can get them. Scooching your butt forward. And time.
Starts.
Now.
Nice.
Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Open your chest up. Nearly there.
Doing well, almost there. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Bending. Does feel a little bit gnarly until you shake it out. All right. One more. One more set. And 1. And up. 2. Up. 3. Try and breathe when you're in the stretch too. 3. And up. One more time. 4. Sorry, 2 more times. This is the last one. 5.
She promises.
And up. Okay. Last set of your German hang. Again, scooching forward, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and 30 seconds. over your halfway.
I like to look at that next one. Jefferson curl.
Jefferson curls are great.
Three, two, one.
Okay, bend the arms. We're getting into our final superset, which is going to be a bit of skill work followed by a counter stretch. So we're going to stick with the wall, and we're going to use the wall to help us to ideally go from a standing position, going all the way down to a back bend, and then coming back up. That is an ideal world. If you have never done a back bend in your life, you are just going to use the wall to get into as much of a back extension as possible and then come out of it. You do not have to go all the way to the ground. It is literally how far you feel comfortable going. And if you are training with somebody, you can actually use your partner to help you a little bit. And it's more of a confidence boosting thing. If you know you've got someone there to help you back up if you get a little bit stuck, that is also great. But we're going to work on that because eventually you want to be able to take it away from the wall and be able to do it just freestanding. It does require a little bit of leg strength as well to do that. It's not just using your back. And it does require a bit of confidence and control to be able to do it. So it takes time. The second one you're going to be doing is, so like I said at the start, if you're doing a lot of back extension, you're going to want to do a little bit of a counter stretch, which is a forward flexion in this case. So using your stool and a weight, we're going to do some Jefferson curls. Okay? So let's begin. I'll go through the variations first. Let's start from hardest to easiest because I feel like that's easier to remember. So the wider your feet are, the easier this is going to be. You obviously don't want to be extremely wide. I go roughly about a shoulder width apart and a bit, so just over that. Also, if you've got tight ankles, you can turn your feet out slightly because you want to get as much of your knees over your ankles as possible. So it kind of turns into a bit of a sissy squat. And if you have a good sissy squat, you will find this a lot easier. So I've got the wall behind me. The further I go from the wall, the less I have to bend, but obviously I'm further away. So it requires a little bit more strength on my part to hold it. So you just got to find that happy medium. And then from there, when we are bending our back, I want you to not just hinge from one spot in your spine. We tend to have one spot that's bendier than the rest, and then we rely on that spot and we overload it, and then it just gets sore, and then it's just a vicious cycle. So working on your weak points, or the points where you are at your tightest. So working on your hip flexors, getting them a bit bendier, because then you don't have to use your back so much. For me, my upper back is quite tight and my shoulders. So all of those exercises we did at the start helps to just mobilize that and get that moving. And that's the case for most people. We tend to be quite bendy through here and not so much through our thoracic because we're too busy on our desks. Okay? So to try to get this to work, we want to tuck our bum under. So we're trying to not use our lower back for the first bit. With your upper back, you've got to think about lifting your chest up to the ceiling and squeezing your shoulder blades together.
This one's for me. Thank you very much, Tanya.
Tanya.
Tanya? Oh my God. Wait, what is it? Tanya. Yeah. People have different ways of saying things.
How do you say it?
I don't know, both. It's like when people ask you how to say a certain word and then you kind of forget how you say it because it's like, how do you say yogurt?
Yogurt.
Yeah.
That is how we say yogurt.
Okay, no, she was certain about that one. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. The certainty in her eyes. Okay.
I stand by that.
All right, I'm muted.
Where was I? Okay. So tailbone is tucked under, bum is squeezing, chest is lifting up, and I'm trying to only use my upper back. It takes a little while for you to feel just that engaging. Hands are going to be over the head, and I'm going to lift up. Make sure you breathe as well. That's always helpful. Going down. Using the wall as little as possible. Holding your back bend. And then shift the knees over. And then coming back up. It's very hard to talk when you're doing that. So again, breathe as much as you can because you do feel quite lightheaded if you just hold your breath and then go down and come back up. I would try to breathe out on the way down. When you do get to the floor, if you get to the floor, you're trying to get your armpits to the wall. Try and take a deep breath in and out, and then deep breath in and breathe out as you come up. And that will hopefully eliminate any lightheaded, dizzy feelings, okay? So that is if you're going all the way down to the floor. You're trying to imagine that that wall is not there. So you're using as little as possible. Let's say we cannot get to the wall. You just do the same concept, but you just go down as far as you can. But when you get to your max point, you're going to try to push the wall away and then come back up, okay? If you are not confident at all to begin to go down the wall, you're just going to go a little bit closer. You're going to go hands over your head, tailbone tucked, lift, arch back, tap the wall, and then come back up. And obviously the further away you are or the lower down you're tapping the wall, the harder it's going to be, okay? We are going to aim for repetitions of 3. That might be a bit too much to start with. So you can be anything along that spectrum of 1, 2, 3, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Obviously, if your back starts feeling a little bit tired or like pinchy or sore, then you stop at 1, okay? And after we've done that, we're going to go straight to the box or the stool, and we're going to work on some forward folding as our rest, okay? Going to tie this up because my mic is pulling my trousers down. Good, okay. Ready. So standing as far away from the wall. Again, if you're unsure about any of this, feel free to ask me any questions. I shall answer. All right, bum tucked. Lifting up, hands over the head. I probably won't be able to talk while I do this. Going down.
Good, it's my turn.
Gary will entertain you.
Oh, she can't talk, damn it. Maybe we could put something nice, like a nice picture on the wall that like you can just look at every time you go down. Obviously stick it upside down.
Maybe.
Like Magic Mike or something.
Magic Mike.
I don't know.
I
don't know what ladies are into.
Nothing more awkward than a male stripper, I have to say.
What's that?
There's nothing more awkward than a male stripper.
I don't know. People are at home, so I think, just they put whatever they want. Maybe
each to their own.
Picture of Cassie.
Each to their own. Okay. 2.
And there he is, Magic Mike. Do you by any chance look at that black dot that's there? Or whatever that is there?
I can look at it. I'm kind of glazed over, to be honest.
Just trying to think about breathing. I do have a question. If people are finding it sore, is there a way to like strengthen or do a different exercise to then learn how to and then progress into that?
It's really about
Or doing what you said before, you just sort of lean back and then you do more of that, and then eventually you get more into it.
Like for this specifically, you kind of want to, you can use it as a tool to almost find where you're weakest or like not mobile. So let's say I am finding it really hard to push my hips forward, then you probably want to work on your hip flexors.
Okay.
And you don't actually have to work on this to get better at this. There's so many different components to it that you can just step away and be like, okay, I'm going to do 6 weeks. I'm going to do a shit ton of lunges and get my hip flexors strong. Or you can just do those foam roller exercises that we did, the arching back ones. You can do them every day, and they're so great.
Okay, yeah. So generally, if you do a lot of this, that's just going to come.
Yeah, a lot of that first bit you can just do as like rehab or as like your morning stretches.
Yeah.
And it's doing like little bits, but a lot of them is what actually improves with that.
Okay, cool.
So it's better to do a lot volume of like the little exercises, and then like once a week go, I'm going to try going to the wall now.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Back bending is, you don't have to do all the hard stuff to get good at it. I mean, it helps. You're just going to get tired. All right, I'm on my very high box. We're going to do some forward folding. My head is cut off. No, it's not.
No, we just see it.
Okay, you're like, damn. So forward folding, you're going to round your shoulders. You're going to roll all the way down. Legs ideally are straight. You go to the bottom of your range, and then we're going to roll back up. This is just nice after doing that. You don't have to go too heavy with it. It's just a nice forward, foldy, roundy stretch. For today anyway. Otherwise, I would do it quite heavy. 3. So from here, I want to keep my bum tucked under as much as possible because this is where I'm going to get the stretch through my back. And that is what we want. So I'm not too worried about stretching your legs today, but it is an added bonus. 4. 5. Is that the same banana, Gary? Have you got another one?
It's the same one.
Okay.
I've got another one.
You've got another one?
Yeah, I've got that 3.
Holy shit.
Someone's not paying attention, not listening to me.
I'm really not paying attention. 8.
Yeah, like I said, these ones are pretty much going off, so I have to eat 3.
You're like, I'm just going to eat them all now. That's what I do when I buy chocolate, because I know it's just going to be sitting in the fridge for ages, so I just have one day where I'm just going to eat it all now.
Yeah, it's going to go off. I mean, chocolate doesn't last long, so it has to all go now, today, when I'm feeling not too good.
You could freeze them. Freeze them and then...
I know, I'm just being sarcastic. I mean, chocolate lasts for a while.
Oh, true, yeah.
And to be honest, even if you got that white stuff on the chocolate, it's actually still fine. It's pretty much like a non-perishable item. So even if you see that white stuff on it, it's actually still fine to eat.
That's really gross if you think about it. That reminds me
of course,
like
yeah.
McDonald's burger. It just lasts for ages. Gotta love processed foods.
It's beautiful.
Okay. We're going to have a quick tea break, which I'll probably regret because it's just going to come back up. It's a thing. Like, every time you drink and you go upside down, it's just like,
Maybe just put the cup near there so you can
drink while I'm in a back bend.
I know, I mean, if it comes back up, you just put it back in.
That's feral. It's one way to get viewers. I'm sure that's a fetish. Okay.
Yeah, in English, like, porn thing, like tea.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Into set 2. Tailbone tucked. Hands up your head. And 1. and up. So really take your time with it. It's better to do 1 really good rep than 3 really questionable ones. 2. And 3. Okay, you can do an initial forward fold. After you've done that, it usually feels quite nice. And then we'll do our Jefferson curls. Oh, dizzy. Okay. So standing on the edge, tailbone tucked under, and 1. And up. Again, try and keep your bum tucked under for as long as you can. We'll give you a bit more stretch. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 1 more time, 10. And coming up. Okay. Back to it. So we're going to do 1 more set of this. If you are doing singles, and you do have the time, I'd probably try and get 5 sets of this in, rather than doing 3 sets of 1. Just the more practice you have with it, the more confident you're going to feel doing it. And of course, that's providing that we're not feeling any sort of back pain as well. Okay, we're going to do 1 more set. Tailbone tucked under, trying to not hinge, and 1. 2. Three. 4, dizzy. 'Okay. Forward folding. And then we're going to do our last set of Jefferson curls. Pick it up. All right, tailbone tucked under, rolling down your spine. Again, it should feel nice. And coming up. 2. And up. 3. If you have a heavier weight, actually, it pulls you into a bit more of a stretch, which I personally like. You can also crack your back, which is great. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. 'And last one. 10.
Everyone's enjoying the nice police siren.
Beautiful, relaxing police sirens. All right, you guys are done. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that class. Like I say all the time,
exercising.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, yeah. I mean, yeah, I was watching. And, of course, exercising in the background here.
You're just getting tips for later.
And eating bananas.
If you have any videos of you guys attempting the standing back bend, let me know. You can send them through, especially if you want to have tips.
Maisie wants to compile a failed video.
If you do have any failed videos, that would be great. Yeah, it can be quite tricky for me to correct without visually seeing it. So if you do have any questions about that or any of the exercises, feel free to post them and I can critique them. Or if you get the success video, that is also welcome. We do have the Patreon up and running, which Gary's going to send the link through the chat, or if you're watching through YouTube, the link will be down below. Any support or help is greatly appreciated. It just helps keep the live stream running, helps coaches out quite a lot, which would be great. And yeah.
Feeds me bananas, allows me to keep
Feeds
eating.
you bananas. Heaven forbid.
And here's my personal bank details.
You need a Patreon for that.
But yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining in. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Enjoy your weekend, guys.
Oh yeah, it's the weekend.
It is the weekend.
Don't even think about it. It's like just another day.
I'm losing my days.
Exactly. All right. Have a great day, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
Cheers.